Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session for November 22nd. We'll begin this morning's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Brooks.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have some guests this morning. Lots of them, actually.
And a big agenda.
We'll begin the agenda with this is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Day. Thanks everybody for wearing purple.
Well,
you never hear me say that. You never hear me say thanks for wearing purple. But we have with us Kathy Schwant, who's a survivor and a volunteer. And Kathy, are you? Hi. She's Community Engagement Chair for the Columbus affiliate, and also a member of the National Survivor Council and for Pancreatic Cancer Action Network.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this proclamation for us. Actually, November 17th was World Pancreatic Cancer Day. November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And yes, I am a survivor of almost 4 years. And pancreatic cancer, unfortunately, this year has surpassed breast cancer to become the third deadliest cancer. It is only behind lung cancer and colon cancer, and we're projected to be number 2 by the year 2020. Unfortunately, even though we're number 3 as the deadliest cancers, we're number 1 for survival rate because we have no early detection. We have no way of really treating it. There's been no improvements in treatment in almost 40 years. So our survival rate after 5 years is 8%. Breast cancer is in the 90s. That kind of gives you an idea. 1,800 people in the state of Ohio will die this year, and 71% of people diagnosed die within the first year of diagnosis. So that is why we're trying to make purple the new pink. I could say that because I am a breast cancer survivor as well of 36 years. So, and there's no correlation for me, but there could be. So to raise awareness is our focus. We would like to hopefully have some buildings lit purple next year, as we did this year around the country, the Space Needle, Times Square, different
Empire
buildings.
State Building.
Empire State Building.
I was there last week.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, I mean, stadiums, the Superdome, Battleship, New Jersey. So anyway, hopefully we can do that next year, but our goal is to raise awareness. We do have a walk every year, similar to Race for the Cure. It's called Purple Stride. It's in September. We would love participation in that and to grow. We had 1,200 people this year, but we would love for it to. We need more money for funding. So thank you for letting me spew my statistics.
Well, and Kathy, I know you didn't mention this, but we all became acutely aware of this terrible disease when our much beloved and long-serving Sheriff Carnes passed away, and it was within a year of the diagnosis.
It was in a very short time. His wife, Sandy, is a volunteer with us, and also Mayor Reinhardt passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning him,
yeah,
too. His wife worked here.
Yeah, he kept that pretty quiet, and he happened to go to the same physician that I went to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're finding out every day more and more people that, you know, Steve Jobs, Michael Landon, everybody knows them, Luciano Pavarotti. So
we need more focus on this.
We need more focus. We do. We need to improve that survival rate. The fact that I'm here 4 years later and feeling well, I'm blessed, and it's my responsibility as a survivor to get the word out and raise awareness and get research done.
My wife and I have a very close friend, Tracy Austin, who's at the James now with pancreatic cancer. So We appreciate you being here today. We'll come up and give you a resolution commemorating the day and get a picture.
Thank you.
All right. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 799-16, resolution adopting the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Action Plan.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning. I'm joined at the dais with Matt Brown this morning. Commissioners, as you know, we focused a lot of time and energy on quality of life as an economic development opportunity. The resolution that you're looking at this morning focuses on the Local Food Action Plan, and we like to look at the idea that local foods is an economic development opportunity as well as healthy living. This has been a really superb process. I'm not going to speak too much about it. I'm going to turn it over to Matt to let you hear a little bit about it. But the truth of the matter is, when we talk about cooperation in our community, county, city, local, this is such a great working example. So I'll turn it over to Matt, and he'll take you through it.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, Commissioners. You know, it's really exciting to be here this morning to present this resolution for the adoption of the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Action Plan. This plan is the result of a 2-year planning process that was initiated by the Board of Commissioners and Columbus City Council, and it's led by a project team consisting of staff from our department, the Economic Development and Planning Department, Columbus Public Health, and Local Matters. We were guided through this project by a 24-member working committee representing all sectors of the food system, and we sought input throughout the project from the community to ensure that the plan's recommendations reflect what residents need in their neighborhoods. Over 1,200 people provided input through interviews, neighborhood food planning meetings, surveys, and public feedback sessions. The Local Food Action Plan includes 27 actions in 4 goal areas that will help to strengthen the local food system, and the plan's goals are to enhance coordination and communication among existing food resources and agencies, to improve access to and education about healthy food, affordable food, and local food, to increase the role of food in economic development, and to prevent food-related waste. Implementation of this plan will be guided by a local food board and a city-county joint local food team. This team and food board will also provide annual progress reports and updates on the plan to the county and city to ensure that progress continues to be made to achieve these goals. Adoption of this resolution will accept the Local Food Action Plan's recommendations as a framework for policy and program development in the area of local food systems, and it reaffirms the Commissioner's commitment to working with public, private, and community stakeholders to ensure a stronger, more resilient local food system. The resolution also reaffirms the Commissioner's commitment to continue its efforts to strengthen the local food system and to ensure that those efforts align with the plan's recommendations. And finally, the resolution directs the county and city to establish a governance structure to oversee, prioritize, and guide the implementation of the plan. And I know we have a number of people here this morning to speak on this resolution. So before I close, I would like to recognize the outstanding work and the dedication of our project team members from the Economic Development and Planning Department. We really could not have completed this project without the invaluable, tireless work of Jonathan Lee, a planner in our department. He works behind the scenes a lot, doesn't like to have the spotlight shown on him, so I wanted to recognize him for all of his efforts on this.
Let's just shine that spotlight on him.
A little bit. And from Columbus Public Health, Autumn Trebetta, Cheryl Graffinino, and Barb Seckler, and from Local Matters, Michelle Moskowitz-Brown, Noreen Warnock, and Brian Estabrook. I thank you all for your participation throughout this project and your efforts to complete this project. And with that, and following our speakers, I would respectfully request adoption of this resolution.
Great, thank you, Matt. You know, along with a lot of the folks that we want to thank, the person we want to thank the most is obviously City Council President Pro Tem, my partner on this project. Priscilla Tyson, all the hard work that she has led from the city's perspective on this issue. So thank you, Priscilla. I appreciate you being here today. The project team members from our perspective are obviously Matt and Jonathan, but as well as Cheryl Graffinino and Michelle Moskowitz Brown from Local Matters. Thanks to them. There's a lot of people to thank. We obviously need to thank the working committee for all the time and effort that they put in. These are folks who represent every facet of the food, our local food system, and they contributed a lot of their own time and their expertise over the last 2 years. This was not something that we just kind of threw together. So the working committee, as Matt indicated, had 24 different folks, growers, people from the Franklin County Farm Bureau. We had folks from food businesses. Randy Sokol's here representing the Ohio Restaurant Association. We had educators from Ohio State and OSU Extension, social service providers from the Mid-Ohio Food Bank, the United Way, SWACO, community gardeners and garden representatives, food enterprises, the conservatory. Bill's here, I saw him earlier, Bill Dawson. So that's just some of the people that were involved. This was a very deep community exercise, and the community aspect of this plan is not to be overlooked. We had more than 1,000 people who responded to surveys, attended community meetings, and provided feedback on the development of this plan. It's important because we're trying to strengthen our local food system, and that's been something that has been a priority of mine. I know it's been a priority of Priscilla's. One of my food gurus is Amy Boddicker Vasquez, right here in the front row. She's been in my office, I don't know how many times. Every time she came to my office, something good came out of it. And so, along with Dr. Jill Clark, who I don't think is here, but the two of them spent a lot of time in my office over the last several years. So we have a lot of investments. The county has a lot of investments in these issues, everything from addressing hunger to supporting the businesses in Central Ohio that are in this space, along with helping to build resilience in this community. And so we spend a lot of our time and money to do those things across the board. So this plan will help us to be able to accomplish some of those things. And it goes beyond the incredibly comprehensive planning process that has produced all of these recommendations. It's a unique plan because it's a partnership between the city and the county. This is the first time this has happened in this country. There are cities that have this plan, there are counties that have this plan, but it's the first time the two entities have teamed up to be able to make this happen anywhere in the country. So we are ecstatic about that. It's something that I'm looking forward to bragging to my friends at NACO about, especially as they arrive here next summer for our annual conference here in Columbus, in Franklin County. So this plan will help us to inform policy decisions, guide program development, enhance existing community partnerships, and foster new ones as well. And it will also help us, or it has forced us to step back from individual programs and investments to look at a bigger picture and set some system-wide goals and enlist the help of experts and the community to help us develop a strategy for achieving those goals. We now have a couple dozen actionable recommendations that will help us. We will be able to address hunger and health by improving access to healthy, affordable, and locally produced food. We'll help to create jobs by expanding new market opportunities and support food businesses by increasing the role of food in the community and in our economic development efforts. And it'll help us to prevent food-related waste by focusing on food waste recovery and diversion. So these are some of the steps that we'll take as a community. And that's really what the key is here. We are working together as a community, as we did in the planning process, with a clear and agreed upon roadmap to get us where we need to be. So I know we are going to make some progress in meeting the goals that we set out to in the beginning of this process 2 years ago. So thanks to all of you that have been involved in this, all of the leadership that the city has shown, along with the leadership of the Economic Development Planning staff and department. Thank you to Columbus Public Health, to Local Matters, And, you know, this is gonna be some exciting stuff. It's been exciting to do it. It's exciting to be here today, but the fun's just kind of starting now. So we have some speakers with us. So Council President Pro Tem Tyson, if you'd like to come up to the microphone, along with Dr. Long and Michelle Moskowitz-Brown from Local Matters, Amy Boddicker-Vasquez from the Franklin County Local Food Council, Mike Hogan from OSU Extension, and Randy Sokol from the Ohio Restaurant Association. Good morning.
Good morning, President O'Grady and Commissioner Brooks. It really is an honor and a privilege to be here with you this morning. And I can tell you, we've been working so hard and been working at council that, you know what, I hadn't even taken the time just to breathe, to just be in the moment. And sitting here today and just having, listening to Jim, to Matt, and to you, and Dr. Long came in today and said there was an article in today's paper about it, which I haven't even read yet because it's just running around, that today I was able to kind of sit here and be in the moment. And I think you've already said, between Jim, Matt, and yourself, you've talked about the plan, and certainly the people standing behind me will share more about the plan because they did the work. What we were able to do is to lead this effort, the effort that we've been working on prior to this, but realizing that we needed a plan. And it was genius that we decided it should be a Columbus and a county plan and show how you can work together to achieve significant goals in our community, again, by working together. I believe, let me read just a little bit because I have a lot coming behind, but I'm very emotional about it because this is such an important plan for the city of Columbus and for Franklin County. I believe that the energy and the excitement that comes with being a resident of our community is reflected best by our unique ability to come together to link arms around complex issues. Over the years, it's become increasingly apparent that access to local food, healthy food, and affordable food by some of our residents represents one of these challenges. While we have continued to make strategic investments in community gardens, food pantries, the Mid-Ohio Food Bank, and a number of other food-related resources. We've done that, however, that's been great, but there's more to do. And so again, in 2004, President John O'Grady and I, with the support of Columbus City Council and the Franklin County Board of Commissioners and a number of other stakeholders, realized that a more holistic, coordinated effort was needed. The Local Food Action Plan is a culmination of the City of Columbus and Franklin County coming together to address this issue. And so last evening at Council, we passed the resolution of 0275X-2016. This plan, which again focuses on the 4 areas that we've already talked about, but I can just say it would not have happened without the the Local Food Action Organizational Leadership, which is Dr. Long, Jim Shimmer, and Michelle Moskowitz-Brown from Local Matters. And then the Local Food Action Plan Project Team, which is integral to keeping this moving, was Cheryl Graffinino from Columbus Public Health, Barb Seckler, Columbus Public Health, Autumn Trombetta from Columbus Public Health, Matthew Brown from Franklin County Economic Development and Planning, Jonathan Lee from the same area, Brian Estabrook, and Noreen Warlock. And then the working committee members. And I won't name them all, I did this at my hearing, but it's really a thank you to them because we will now have a plan that will allow this community, a roadmap, will have a plan that was creative, that is a roadmap for success, that for years from now, people will see that this effort reflects what the true spirit of Columbus and Franklin County and Central Ohio is all about. It's all about a community that puts its people first. And so I am just very honored and privileged to have worked with the group of people that are in this room. I know that this roadmap, I'm committed as City Council to ensuring that this is not a plan that will sit on the shelves as we prepare for our 2017 budget, things that we need to fund to move the plan forward. I'm committed to doing that. And again, President O'Grady, it's been a pleasure to work with you, as well as everyone in this room that had a part in it. I want to just, from the bottom of my heart, all I can do is just say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and I'm hopeful for the passage of this resolution today.
Thanks, Priscilla.
Good morning, President O'Grady, Commissioner Brooks, good morning. And wow, what a great packed audience to talk about such an important initiative. So congratulations to our President Pro Tem and Finance Chair. So she means business, which is good. We want you all to mean business too, because really this is both an economic development opportunity, it's clearly a health opportunity, and I will come back to that, but it is about all of our residents. And honestly, I come before you to speak on behalf of the 1.2 million residents that both we at Columbus Public Health and you here at the county serve and pay so much attention to. This is all of those things, but from my perspective, obviously, we are very committed to protecting health and improving lives. And this resolution, but really the work and the project team has to be saluted, and actually all of the members, I have had a chance to interact with them. They have been amazing as far as thinking about pushing forward, addressing issues that could have been a challenge, and really coming forth with this 4 key goals and 27 recommendations that, again, I believe will further protect health, improve health, and, of course, improve lives. Again, good nutrition is a key to a healthier life. It's true for our kids. We know that. This will help us address some of the infant mortality issues that we have been struggling with in our community, but ultimately, it will help us address all of the health issues, because without good nutrition, we really will all suffer. I would also call attention to some of the issues where we know we have neighborhoods, both in Columbus and I'm sure in other parts of our Franklin County, where people have less access to fresh foods. So indeed, we know that there are places where up to 40% of residents are struggling with both getting their fresh fruits and vegetables. Actually, that's more like 75% of us don't eat our 5 a day. But clearly in some neighborhoods, it's way easier to get fast food than it is to get to a grocery store. So again, this is our chance to take fresh potatoes and have people eat potatoes as opposed to French fries, or to get an apple as opposed to apple juice. So there, and not that any of those are bad, we like those too, but nonetheless, the opportunity is to have fresh foods in our home, to serve them to our children in our schools, et cetera, and to buy local, again, to grow local, buy local, and move it all the way through, and to, again, protect our landfill. So with that, I am very excited about this and very proud of both my colleagues at Public Health, but obviously yours. We've gotten to know you way better, Sir Matt, and obviously our partners at Local Matters. But really, when I look across the back bench, these are the people, and there are many others who have made this happen. So again, I would encourage you also to pass this resolution, but to fully support this plan as we move forward. It will be a journey, but it's an exciting journey, again, to improve health and well-being, economic well-being, and all our well-being here in Franklin County.
Thanks, Doc.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Moskowitz-Brown, Executive Director at Local Matters. President O'Grady, Commissioner Brooks, thank you so much for having us here today. I just wanted to acknowledge the pancreatic cancer awareness and just say I'm reading The Emperor of All Maladies by Dr. Mukherjee, and it really talks about the biography of cancer and sort of what it will take to overcome issues across the board. I happen to have lost my brother to colon cancer when he was 26, and in as much as these are related to food and diet, feel extra, committed to my work and to all of our work to overcome these issues in our community. So I also have a lot of thank yous and see what I can add to this conversation here. I wanted to thank, of course, the project team and my colleagues, Noreen Warnock and Brian Estabrook, who brought unparalleled depth and fastidious research to this project, as well as all of the working committee community members, the 7 neighborhood food planning participants who sort of contributed to this plan as it went up through to the city county-wide plan. So thanks to all of them and to Local Matters Board as well. It was an honor and a privilege to serve on the leadership team. And the plan that you're considering today is a significant step forward in elevating food access, education, processing, production to the levels of issues like transportation and housing where it belongs, because as author M.F.K. Fisher said, first we eat and then we do everything else. So we need to have food first in order to achieve anything we want to accomplish. It's clear that when successfully implemented, the plan is going to move us leaps and bounds, ensuring that everyone can eat well, that we can feed our families, and that food can be produced and processed with care for farmers, for farm workers, for the environment as well. And the plan is ambitious, but it's also very carefully constructed. It's got to focus on very achievable actions due to the concentrated effort and the careful effort we've taken in these past 2 years by so many in our community. It identifies the path forward, and with your continued support and commitment, we're going to address these pressing food issues, and we're going to capitalize on the role of food in community revitalization. We stand on the shoulders of giants, planners who have worked on these issues for many years. Wayne Roberts was the first city planner in Toronto from 2000 to 2010, and he shares that food plans are important for 3 reasons. They bring together wide but not yet deep support. They help us plan for the future rather than just reacting to the current circumstances. And they help us identify ideas that have traction, that are on the edge of creativity and productivity, and elevate those so that we can accomplish our visions. This is the promise of, and I think that it should be our expectation of, our food plan. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thanks.
Good morning. Thank you, Commission President O'Grady and Commissioner Brooks, Council President Pro Tem Tyson, the staff and leadership at Columbus Public Health and Local Matters. All those thank yous have been said, but I needed to add mine to the mix because this truly has been a fantastic process and project, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak to you today. I also wanted to call out Matt Brown. He doesn't like the spotlight either. I know that he was trying to divert it to Jonathan Lee, but as a colleague now for several years, I know we would not be here without the germ of the idea in his head, so thank you, Matt. And I also think it's appropriate that we're here the week of Thanksgiving, a holiday that celebrates the harvest and sharing meals together, and I couldn't think of a more appropriate time for us to be here to consider adoption of this plan. My name is Amy Boddicker-Baskus, and I represent the Franklin County Local Food Council. I've been active on the council with Matt and many of you in this room since 2011, and I served as its chair from 2013 to 15. And in this role, I served on the working committee for the Local Food Action Plan. And a bit about our Food Council, because I think it's representative of the spirit in which this plan came together, the many voices of our food system, and that aspect of collaboration of cross-sections and interests in our local food system, which makes it stronger. We come from diverse neighborhoods, professional backgrounds, socioeconomic status, ages, and perspectives. We're subject matter experts, concerned citizens. We represent private groups and public programs, all situated under that big tent of food. Growers, educators, kitchen managers, fundraisers, entrepreneurs, pantry directors, planners, policy experts. We all champion for a healthy food system with recognition that our individual work is strengthened in the context of a better whole. And we all eat. And so our council was formed with the mission to expand, strengthen, and maintain a resilient local food system. And I think that undergirds the spirit of this plan, and we look forward to helping support its implementation. We're certainly strengthened by the process, and I think excited about what's ahead. And thank you again for the opportunity to be here today.
Thanks, Amy.
Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. Mike Hogan with Ohio State University Extension. I serve as the Ag and Natural Resources Educator for Franklin County. I want to begin by thanking Commissioner O'Grady and the entire Board of Commissioners and City Council President Pro Tem Tyson and entire City Council for really having the foresight and the leadership to think about the potential for this project. As you mentioned, Commissioner O'Grady, this hasn't happened before in the United States, probably because we haven't had local leaders who had that leadership and foresight. So we recognize both those bodies and individuals for your leadership in our community. And you know, I was involved as a member of the working group and found the process to be incredibly inclusive of this community, incredibly strategic and deliberate, very action-oriented, and I think I'd be remiss if I too didn't recognize the leadership of Matt and Cheryl and Michelle and everyone. I think their leadership is what made this project very successful. I've been involved with a lot of community planning projects over the years, economic development plans, land use plans, and typically what happens is they limp across the finish line, if you will, and the plans get put on the shelf, and if you have a small percentage of the recommendations implemented, that's a success. I think the excitement and the steam for this project is much greater today than when it started, and that's a testament to the process and the individuals involved, and I look forward to the future. Unlike those planning projects I mentioned, I think this project has the opportunity to really be successful. I think the action steps are clear and concise that can be implemented. I think they will result in a reform of our food system in Central Ohio that will make it more healthy for our citizens, more just and equitable, more sustainable, more resilient, and will provide new economic opportunities for our citizens. And so I would urge you to not just adopt the plan, but to continue to stay involved with city and stakeholder groups and provide resources for implementation as we move forward. Let me share with you a couple of examples of how my organization, The Ohio State University, will use this plan and the action steps if implemented in this plan. The Ohio State University purchases $39 million worth of food each year, and President Drake has committed to purchasing a minimum of 40% of those purchases from local sources. Now, the outer boundaries of local for the institution will be the state of Ohio, obviously. But President Drake has challenged us to figure out how we can purchase as much of those purchases locally in Central Ohio from producers in Franklin County, from producers in Columbus, and he's challenged us to look at how can we get more production of food around the university and some of the neighborhoods that are distressed, including Wineland Park, Linden, and other university neighborhoods. We won't be successful in that effort without a lot of the action steps contained in the plan. Secondly, the university is transforming Waterman Farm, a farm on the western edge of campus located in the city limits. It's going to be a national center, really, for food security and urban food system development, research, and extension. Part of that plan will be development of a urban extension center for Franklin County. We plan to break ground in the first quarter next year. The Board of Commissioners has been very supportive of that effort. We will have a place to do hands-on training for folks that want to develop urban farms, urban food businesses, and other entrepreneurial activities. And again, that effort won't be truly successful without implementation of this plan. And so I urge you to both adopt the plan and support the plan going forward. I think in the not too distant future, when other communities want to change their food systems, they'll look towards Columbus and Franklin County. They won't just look towards Portland and Austin and Orange County. And they'll come to Columbus and they'll want to find out how we changed our food system in Central Ohio. And I think the seeds of that successful change will have been the local food action plan. So I thank you again. And one last thing, given the week that it is, that I'd like to get on the record is just 2 words: beat Michigan.
Right.
Thanks, Mike. Randy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Well, first off, Randy Sokol, and I'm co-owner of TJ's Country Place here in town, and I represent the Ohio Restaurant Association. And I saw that Dr. Long left already, but I want you to tell her this, is that it's okay to eat deep-fried French fries. I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm sure we all enjoy that at least once in a while. So anyways, I really wanted to thank City Council and the County Commissioners, especially John, for inviting me to be on this working committee, and also for being here to speak for a minute or two. I will tell you the process, first of all, was I've been on a lot of committees, whether it be in business, associations, some city, and the process here was probably the most impressive I've ever worked on. The first day when we met to see the agenda, and after a couple meetings to see all the different choices we had, I said, how are we going to get through this? Because as a business owner, I don't know if I could have taken my business through this whole process the way they did. The person that you hired as the consultant that led each meeting was fantastic. I mean, she was so organized, she was punctual, she just really did a good job getting us through this whole, arduous task, because what it looked like the first day and what it looks like now, it's amazing that we made it through.
I remember the first day you saying, I'm not really sure why I'm here. So to hear you saying this now is fantastic.
I'm telling you, I was overwhelmed by what I saw, and I didn't know how we'd get through it, and I didn't want to waste my time with a lot of meetings and nothing happened, because I've done that also, which I'm sure we all have. But what I've seen, the end result is truly amazing, and the fact that government did that is even more amazing. And then from there, the importance of this food action plan with sustainability, I think is very, very important. And I got to tell you that since I've been doing this for the last couple of years, my attention to this, to food and to the waste of food has really, really lasered down to the fact when I'm at home, I mean, I use every piece. I make sure I throw nothing away because, I've read all the facts and figures about how much food that America throws away every day, and talking about hotels, restaurants, catering, grocery stores. I mean, a lot of these restaurants have rules that at the end of the night they throw all the food away, so they start fresh tomorrow. Now that's good for the consumer as far as quality, but it's certainly not good in helping feeding the needy. And I know that's and so I think part of the things that we have to do as a city and as a county is figure out those laws that prevent and figure out what food you're allowed to give to the food banks and to the homeless, because I think a lot of restaurants are afraid to give because it's a litigious society. We don't want to be sued. So it's not done on purpose, it's done because we're afraid to do it. So I think it's something we need to figure out. And the fact that we're talking about grow local and distribute local, I mean, you've all read newspapers, you know, all the hospitality and service industry is definitely paying attention and wants to go more local. But up to this point in time, you know, the availability and the price of these products has kept a lot of restaurants away from doing that. And hopefully, you know, with supply and demand, the more that we have available, the prices will be more affordable, because I know everybody wants to do it. You know, it is a hot button today, it's a buzzword, but I think everybody believes in it. And finally, I just really, the importance of this and the process that we did is that this book or this final product does not go up on the shelf. Somebody mentioned that. But you know, we can start this process, work on it for 6 months, and then something else get in the way or something become more important, and this can just go by the wayside easily. That happens in my business all the time. And I just think that this is a long-term project that needs to be reinforced all the time. And I know that you've set up an advisory board, and I know I think one of the things that is very important is that somewhere, somehow in the budget, you put something in there that you have one person assigned to this. If this is that important to everybody, then somebody should be accountable to everybody for that. It can't be a whole group. It's got to be one position or one office, in my opinion. But anyway, so thank you for letting me speak today and again for being involved.
Thanks, Randy. Well, the last night and today, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, a plan that's going to sit on the shelf. Well, I can tell you, I got enough plans sitting on my shelf right now. I don't want any more. I want to get rid of the ones that I have. So this one's not going to do that. We obviously in economic development planning, we're going to focus on this with dollars in the budget to be able to do that. I know that certainly you guys have through Columbus Public Health. We put too much time and too much effort into this for this to now not be put into action. So I'm excited. And I know that we're all going to, and you guys are all going to hold us accountable. I can tell you right now, I know Amy and Jill will be in my office, you know, soon enough if this thing's not headed in that right direction. I want to thank a couple of some other people. I want to thank my colleagues, Paula and Marilyn, for all the support over the years for these initiatives. Every time we had an idea, every time we thought of, you know, well, maybe we'd want to spend a little bit of money on this or that, they always supported us and backed us in everything that we were doing, and I really appreciate that. I also appreciate your colleagues on City Council for the same reason. I will make sure to tell them as I see them. And then one final thought. I saw last night when I was at council, there was a young gentleman there. I never met him before. I don't know if I'd recognize him today. He was wearing a Rensselaer Polytechnic sweatshirt. So he said he was a student. Was it when I was talking? Yeah. And so he said, you know, this was the greatest policy document that he'd ever read, and when he got to the end of it, it said draft, and he's like, what? What do you mean it's a draft? This is the best thing I've ever read, and you know, he's in the business of reading policy documents. So hats off to the great work that the committee did and that everybody put into this thing. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the work that you've done, and let's get this thing moving.
Well, I guess it's my pleasure to move for adoption of resolution number 79916, and I would like to thank Commissioner O'Grady and Councilmember Tyson and all of you here locally from Ohio State, from the restaurant industry. Everybody who's been named are certainly our economic development leadership. This is economic development, but it's also really important security for our community. Whether it's an individual security for a household or a larger regional security as we see climate impacts or even, you know, other security issues. This is critical. We all, as I think Dr. Long and Councilmember Tyson said, we all eat, and we all have to eat. And we take for granted our food security here. If you've ever traveled to other parts of the world, or even just other parts of Ohio, we are very, very fortunate, and it's my pleasure to move for adoption, especially at Thanksgiving.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 799-16 has been adopted.
Thank you. Guys, can we get everybody to come up for a photo and with the commissioner? Including those of you in the back, Bill, and everybody. Everybody that was a part of this. Autumn. I'm on.
Yeah.
It's always a little hard to do with all the things out. Let's get it out. Maybe better not.
No, no problem.
All right. On to the Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 800-16. Resolution establishing the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Board to oversee, prioritize, and guide the implementation of recommendations set forth in the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Action Plan.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Before I speak to the resolution, I just wanted to briefly thank you for your acknowledgement of Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Day. If you recall, my father, but for the good fortune of early detection and successful surgery, might not be with us today from 3.5 years ago, so thank you for that. To the resolution, this is a companion resolution, Commissioners, to the one you just passed. It does establish the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Board to oversee, prioritize, and guide implementation of the recommendations in the Local Food Action Plan. The resolution sets forth that the board shall consist of 12 members, 6 appointed by this body, 6 appointed by the City of Columbus, and that will include for the first year the designation of co-chairs while the body meets to create bylaws and determine its organizational structure. And the board will meet quarterly per the terms of this resolution to report to you all on actions taken to move forward with implementation of the plan. In addition to that, both the city and the county will be able to designate a staff person as a liaison to this board and as a non-voting member, but to participate in the conversation. So, and we will make appointments to this board hopefully very early next year. So. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution.
Great. Move for passage of Resolution 816.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 800-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, guys. Well, we still have a large crowd, so let's get moving. Let's get moving. The engineer. There's Cornell. How are you, Cornell?
Resolution number 801-16, resolution awarding contract to ViewWorks LLC for a work management system in the amount of $597,350.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cornell.
My name is Cornell Robertson, representing County Engineer Dean Ringel. As stated, this resolution is for a contract with ViewWorks for a new work management system, which we use to track labor, equipment, and materials used by all employees for maintenance of roadways, for snow and ice operations, and for billable work that we do for other agencies, among many other things. Our current system was purchased in 2001 and has become outdated. We utilize the request for proposals process. We opened sealed bids, and ViewWorks had the lowest and best proposal.
Okay. Move for passage of Resolution 80116.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 801-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 802-16, resolution authorizing a contract with Trans Associates Engineering Consultants Incorporated to provide expert knowledge and consulting services related to Franklin County traffic systems design and safety studies in the amount of $5,000.
Commissioners, this resolution is a professional services contract with Trans Associates, who will help us with traffic systems designs and safety studies.
Great. Move for passage of Resolution 80216.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 802-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 803-16, Willow Oak Avenue, Grant Park Avenue, and Connor Ridge Street, accepted for public maintenance and shall become part of the Jefferson Township road system.
Commissioners, this resolution is for the Royal Elm Section 7 subdivision in the northeast part of the county in Jefferson Township, south of Havens Corners Road and west of Wagner Road. The infrastructure has been built, the streets are ready for acceptance for public use, and the maintenance can be turned over to Jefferson Township.
Okay. Move for passage of Resolution 80316.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 803-16 has been adopted.
Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
You too.
Municipal Court.
Resolution number 804-16, resolution authorizing a transfer of appropriation for appointed council expenditures.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Davenport, Director of Finance for Franklin County Municipal Court, and with me today is Jessica Beebe, Court Services Supervisor. Resolution 804-16 is seeking the Board's approval to authorize a transfer of appropriations in the amount of $22,000 for appointed council expenditures. This request is a result of unanticipated expenses for appointed council associated with an increase in stakeholder cases. If approved, this will ensure continuity of legal services that support the court. Pending any questions, I respectfully request the Board's approval.
Move for passage of Resolution 80416.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 804-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Domestic Relations.
Resolution number 805-16, resolution authorizing contract extensions with Bob Barker Company Incorporated and ICS Jail Supplies Incorporated for juvenile inmate aids and clothing in the amount of $50,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Barb Reeves, Deputy Director. These two contracts were originally bid through the Purchasing Department in 2014. This resolution is requesting a contract extension for 1 year. Pending any questions, we request the approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 80516.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 805-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 806-16, resolution authorizing a second amendment to the 2017 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $350,000.
Due to the approval of the court's targeted reclaim application with the Department of Youth Services, the budget needs to be amended by $350,000. Targeted reclaim is an initiative designed to use evidence-based programs to divert youth from the Department of Youth Services. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 80616.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 806-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, Marv. Common Pleas Court.
Resolution number 807-16, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the purchase of information technology equipment.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kimberly Canada, Director of Finance for the Common Pleas Court, and with me is Mike Pfeiffer, our IT Director. This resolution requests a transfer of appropriations from the Common Pleas Court existing general fund allocation from materials and supplies to capital outlays for the purchase of a smart board. This equipment will be utilized for various meetings, presentations, and training sessions. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
Move for passage of Resolution 80716.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 807-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Board of Elections.
Resolution number 808-16, resolution authorizing supplemental appropriations to cover election-related expenses.
Good morning, Commissioners. To Wynn Board of Elections Fiscal Manager. I have here with me John Aldet, our Human Resource Manager. I'm pleased to report to you that Board of Election is concluding a very successful presidential election cycle. Director Leonard and Deputy Director Payne regret that they cannot be here today to present this resolution, but the board is conducting one of 3 board meetings this week necessary to finalize the official canvass. Because of the compressed time frame imposed by the Secretary of State on finalizing the results and the demand of this being a presidential election, our full-time and seasonal employees have put in tremendous amounts of hours of overtime in order to accomplish this task. Which brings us to today's resolution, which is a supplemental appropriation request in the amount of $1,236,000. The requested amount is for the increased costs and overtime that we have incurred and will be used to cover our payroll expenses to year end. Pending any question, I would respectfully request approval of this resolution.
Well, I just want to tell you, thank you. I was up there quite a bit over the last more than a month for the early vote, and man, I'll tell you, the lines were moving. People had nothing but great stuff to say. Even, the few days before the election when the lines were super long, several hundred yards long, out past the old Kroger store, and you guys had them, queued up back there even. People were complimenting about how quickly the line moved and how efficiently things were run. So well done, very well done. Thank you.
And I normally, I would say, coming in and asking for an over $1 million appropriation addition would not be so good, but we understand these were very special circumstances, and I too observed that things went very smoothly, and we're really glad and happy for that. I know I Facebooked some little photo of my family and I, and heard back from people in Arizona, wow, you need to come out here, we need help. So you may get those requests in the future. So I will move for passage of Resolution 80816.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 808-16 has been adopted.
You're welcome. Happy Thanksgiving.
Too. I'm very much looking forward to the certification of the election. The County Recorder.
Resolution number 809-16, resolution authorizing the set-aside for the Recorder's Technology Fund for calendar year 2017.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Terry Brown. I'm your Franklin County Recorder, and I'm joined here today by our Assistant IT Director, Zach Reardon. This resolution continues the $4 set-aside that we have had for the last several years in the Recorder's Office as allowable by state law in order to provide for the technology needs of the office. Over the past several years, we've been able to use this set-aside to upgrade our computer system, which came in on time and on budget this year, and has provided great enhancements to our customers and to property owners in Franklin County. It's also allowed us to upgrade microform viewers across Franklin County. Instead of using the old reader printers, now folks will be able to actually save digitally or email images of old documents. And it also allows for the office to have a small reserve fund in order to provide for any emergencies, so that if we had a technology malfunction, we wouldn't have to come to the commissioners and ask for an additional appropriation. This has allowed our office and offices across the state of Ohio to upgrade their technologies in a reasonable, predictable, and responsible manner. And here in our office, it also pays for our IT staff, which are able to provide direct services to our customers, so that if they're having issues with logging on or how to view something, or those things that people who don't use the system every day experience, Zach and Rob are able to go out on the floor and help them, and they've been very responsible in that aspect and also in the spending of our technology fund dollars. So with that, if pending any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval.
Well, good job and good use of these funds. Move for passage of Resolution 80916.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 809-16 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Happy Thanksgiving. Veteran Services Commission.
Resolution number 810-16, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the support of veterans.
Good morning, Commissioners. I sound contagious, but I'm no longer.
Good. Thanks.
So I say.
Yeah. Stay over there.
Not the first time I've heard that. Even when I sound fine, I hear that sometimes. This request is, we have $70,000 available in our personnel and fringe benefits appropriations. We'd like to move that to our grants appropriations so that we can account for some rising needs in such things as utilities, transportations, housing, and food vouchers, which provides healthy food, as we discussed today, as well as medicines and diapers. That's our resolution today.
Right. Move for passage of Resolution 81016.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 810-16 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 811-16, resolution approving a subaward agreement with the Center for Healthy Families Incorporated for teen parenting and pregnancy prevention services in the amount of $250,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lance Porter, representing Job and Family Services. This resolution will approve a contract with the Center for Healthy Families to provide teen parenting and pregnancy prevention services. The Center's school-based parent education support group program provides education and resources for teen mothers and fathers in 4 targeted Columbus City School District high schools. That would be Briggs, Independence, Walnut Ridge, and West. Additional services that are provided include access to community-based programs that center on ensuring successful birth outcomes, education to ensure healthy child development, and assistance to parents in transitioning into adulthood. They estimate serving 135 teens this contract period. This will be the 4th year for this contract. And pending any questions, I'd ask for the approval of this resolution.
Lance, you did mention pregnancy prevention services too. I think that's really important to highlight. All of this is important, and the center has done a fantastic job.
To that note, Commissioner Brooks, I should report that 96% of the program participants successfully delayed a subsequent pregnancy. So it's real good.
It's really critical to their parenting other children in the family already, and that success. Move for passage of Resolution 81116.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 811-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Fleet Management.
Resolution number 812-16, resolution authorizing contracts with Reichert Properties Incorporated doing business as Reichert Ford Incorporated and Bayer Chevrolet LLC for the provision of the supply and delivery of fleet hybrid vehicles for the Franklin County Fleet Management Department in the amount of $1 million.
Good morning. Charlotte Ashcraft, Director of Fleet Management. The resolution before you is requesting authorization to award a contract to Reichert Ford Incorporated and Bayer Chevy LLC to provide hybrid vehicles, both plug-in and non-plug-in, for the fleet. The bid was publicly advertised and posted. 21 companies believed to be able to provide these vehicles received individual notifications. 3 bids were received, and the bid opening was conducted on October 13th of this year. The purchasing department and fleet management reviewed the bids, and based on the evaluation, it was determined that Reichert Ford is the lowest and best bidder for Ford brand plug-in and non-plug-in hybrids, as well as Buyer Chevrolet as the lowest best bidder for the Chevy brand Volt. With the award of these contracts, we will have the ability to expand our current alternative fueled fleet even further. The Commissioner's fleet currently has 13 hybrid vehicles, 8 non-plug-in, 4 plug-in hybrids, and 1 hybrid bus. With the planned addition of 2 more plug-in hybrids this year and the arrival of our propane-powered transport bus in early 2017. Fleet management has long followed the Commissioner's lead and focused on obtaining alternative fuel. Fleet management has been purchasing alternative fuel since 1996, the first non-plug-in hybrids in 2010, and the first plug-in hybrid in 2015. 35% of our current fleet is of an alternative fuel. We will continue with this program, and having a contract with the purchase of hybrid vehicles will aid us in our plans in the future. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
Thank you, Charlotte, for your leadership on this. There's so many benefits, certainly clean air, but also just being leaders on this issue since, as you've mentioned, we always have been. So, thank you. Move for passage of Resolution 81216.
And thanks for all your help in making sure that all these vehicles are titled in Franklin County.
Oh, you're welcome.
As a former clerk of courts, it's a big deal. And why we, Franklin County, would be paying to title automobiles in another county is beyond me. So we should, even though I know it wasn't necessarily due to you guys, it was due to the title runners. We need to make sure that everybody understands, and thank you for all your help in making sure that happens.
And it is now part of our contract that they must be titled in Franklin County.
And I've spoken with Clerk O'Shaughnessy, and she's very grateful as well. So.
Not a problem.
I second the motion.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 812-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte. Office on Aging.
Resolution number 813-16, resolution authorizing a non-general fund transfer of appropriation for service contracts.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget presenting this resolution on behalf of Director Carroll. This resolution will authorize a transfer of appropriations in the amount of $685,000. The appropriations are from higher than anticipated vacancies as well as lower than expected fees from the property tax collection to be able to transfer to social services. This is required as a result of an increase in demand for services. Since the beginning of the year, enrollment has increased 2%, as well as the recent exercise of increases in the renewal contracts. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
And could I just ask, next year, will we be anticipating, as we go through the budget, these types of increases? Because we know we're going to have increasing needs in the aging population.
That is correct. Yeah, there was a request made as part of the 2017 budget.
So next year we don't anticipate.
Correct. And Commissioner, I would also add, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are also still within their levy plan, even with this additional appropriation.
That is correct. Even with this, they would still be within their cash balance requirements.
Okay, that's good to know. Good, thank you. Move for passage of Resolution 81316.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 813-16 has been adopted.
Sanitary Engineer.
Resolution number 814-16, resolution authorizing a modification to the contract with CH2M Hill Engineers Incorporated for additional services for the Timberlake Water Treatment Plant Upgrades Project in the amount of $564,184.52.
Good morning, Commissioners. Stephen Renner with the Department of Sanitary Engineering. This contract modification is actually designed to increase the design scope for 3 reasons. 1, for discovery of actual conditions of the water treatment plant. 2, to design to mitigate customer impacts when we're softening water, and also to help us address the maintenance needs of our aged elevated tank. And I respectfully request you approve this contract modification.
Move for passage of Resolution 81416.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 814-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 815-16, resolution authorizing a contract agreement between Franklin County Board of Commissioners and the City of Columbus for water sampling and analytical services in the amount of $18,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution, the contract is a continuing success with our partnership with the City of Columbus. They have been providing excellent needs for our water sampling, analytical services, especially when it comes to the TTHMs and lead and copper sampling. I am also requesting, there's a slight change. I am requesting an amendment to the resolution because we've discovered that 18,000 wasn't going to cover it. We need to increase that to 20,000 with the impact of the coming Ohio EPA lead and copper rules that are coming.
Okay. I'll move to amend Resolution 815-16 to add that additional contract amount and bring it to $20,000.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
The amount has been amended.
I'll now move for approval of amended Resolution 815-16.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Amended resolution number 815-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 816-16, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the sanitary sewer fund.
Good morning again. This is just the carryover from the previous year for paying the City of Columbus for our sanitary sewer bills.
Well, that's a good idea, pay our bills. Okay. Move for passage of resolution number 816-16.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 816-16 has been adopted.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
And
Steve.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 817-16, resolution authorizing a career-oriented continuing education and placement training grant agreement with IC Stars Columbus LLC to provide workforce training and job placement as part of their commitment to begin operations within Franklin County in the amount of $90,000.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning. I'm joined at the dais by Michael Salvador, who is the county's workforce navigator. Commissioners, as you know, and the general public should know, our economic development program is based around the concept of Smart Works in Franklin County. We have 3 programs in that area, our Infrastructure Bank, our Energy Works program, and People Works. These 2 resolutions that are on this morning are significant work done by Michael through a number of different contacts, but really have focused in on the fact that we are training people for jobs, and the program is working very, very well. So he's going to take you through the 2 resolutions on this morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Salvador, Workforce Navigator, Franklin County Economic Development and Planning. This resolution before you is a Concept G for IC Stars Columbus. IC Stars is originated in Chicago. It's been operating there since 1999 as a coding academy for software, and a team of local entrepreneurs led by Ryan Frederick, who is the principal at AWH, spent a good year and a half going to Chicago, learning about the model and figuring out how to bring it here. And so they have incorporated IC Stars Columbus and have applied for a Concept G grant. As you know, the Concept G program is to provide a third-party vocational training school like a IC Stars. Previous recipients include Perscalis and DigitalWorks, with funding to train low-income individuals on public assistance from Franklin County in a career field, and in a career field that will allow them to access a living wage job. IC Stars, under this agreement, will train 90 people over the next 3 years for jobs in the software coding industry. To tell you more about the program, we have their Executive Director, Kim Gale, here, and we'd invite her to the microphone to say a few words about the program.
Thank you so much, Michael Salvador. You've just been instrumental to us getting this here, and thank you, President O'Grady and Commissioner Brooks, for allowing us to be here today. Again, my name is Kimberly Gale. I'm the new Executive Director for High Sea Stars Columbus, and this program originated, like Michael said, from Chicago in 1999. The concept came from the idea of taking underserved, privileged individuals in the inner city of Chicago and relating resiliency to the idea to solve complex problems. And so we're excited about bringing it here into the city of Columbus. We are focused more on the software development side. It's an intensive 16-week boot camp, which means 12-hour days from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Individuals will go through a project-based learning experience. We are fortunate to have IGS Energy as our first project sponsor, who will allow us to work on a hands-on project for them. In addition to just learning IT skills, we also integrate business skills and leadership skills into the program. We integrate a daily guest speaker that will actually come in from a C-suite level, CIOs, CTOs that will come in and talk to our interns about their career journey. We think that this is going to take off extremely well in Columbus, in the city of Columbus. We've already gotten extreme support from JP Morgan Chase, Columbus Foundation, and many other United Way, Web One Ventures who are supporting us. And so we are very honored and grateful for the opportunity, and so we respectfully ask for your approval on this grant. Thank you.
Well, we certainly hope you're successful. There are some other programs that we've supported through the years, but this is the first time I think we've hyper-focused on our JFS community, and we really need everyone to be successful here. So thanks for your effort.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Move for passage of Resolution 81716.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 817-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 818-16, resolution authorizing a new employee training grant agreement with the Eastway Corporation to provide employee training for low-income Franklin County residents as part of the company's commitment to expand its operations into Franklin County in the amount of $52,000.
Commissioners, the Eastway Corporation is a behavioral health care nonprofit that has several facilities throughout the state of Ohio. They specialize in treating children and young adults that have experienced trauma in both inpatient settings and outpatient settings to help them deal with their traumatic experiences and live productive lives. The Eastway Corporation has recently purchased and renovated the Hannah Neal facility on 301 Obetz Road on the south side. They had their ribbon cutting last month, and they're requesting a net G to help them staff up that facility. They plan to hire 80 entry-level behavioral health care specialists and train them in all the skills that these individuals need to be effective caregivers to the children and young adults that will be in the Hannah Neal facility. To tell you more about this program, about Eastway and the Heritage of Hannah Neal facility, we'd invite Kelly Ott, Vice President of Eastway, and Tom Standish, the Director of the Heritage of Hannah Neal facility, up to the microphone to say a few words.
Thank you.
Yes, I just want to start by saying I truly appreciate the opportunity that Michael has presented to us, and your willingness to consider the opportunity as well. We are excited to expand into Franklin County. As our information notes, we originally established in Montgomery County. We are actually the largest and most comprehensive behavioral health organization in Montgomery County. We've been there since 1957, so we're getting ready to celebrate our 60 years serving the citizens of Montgomery County. Primarily, we started out serving adult clients that had a severe and persistent mental illness, but approximately 30 years ago, we expanded our focus to include kids in need of services and most notably our residential services. As Michael noted, we have residential programs in Washington Courthouse, in Montgomery County, and then now we will be providing the same services in Franklin County. The reason we came to Franklin County, everybody keeps asking why I come to Franklin County. what we found, interestingly enough, in looking at our data, was about 50% of the kids that we had in the other two facilities were from Franklin County. So it just made sense for us from an operational standpoint, and just from a kid-specific standpoint. We know that kids do better if we can actually step them down in their own communities. So we started looking for a facility in Franklin County and stumbled upon the Hannah Neal facility and the legacy that it had for Franklin County. We have since made a $4 million investment in the project, and Tom's going to tell you a little bit more about the programs we offer there.
Morning.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the heritage of Hannah Neal. Kelly addressed the fact that there's been extensive renovation into the facility itself. It makes it a warm, friendly, welcoming, healthy environment. We have transformed 8 offices into therapeutic rooms, which includes a beachfront, a chalkboard room. It also includes a Galaxy therapy room and a Star Wars room. So the facility itself lends itself to the treatment of behavioral health care in Franklin County. I also would be remiss if I didn't say that our day treatment program has been operational since September, and we now have 16 young people involved in it. Our outpatient program was operational in January 4th. We now have 132 children and families involved in it, and our residential program will have a capacity of 40 pre-adolescent boys and girls. This staffing grant is a huge opportunity for ourselves and for the staff. We are anticipating hiring 80 staff members to work directly with the kids as qualified mental health professionals in both our day treatment program and our outpatient program. The training begins with a 2-week intensive training in first aid, the American CPR. It also includes evidence-based training in trauma-informed care and in the regulations and rules pertaining to accreditation and licensing for mental health. The other opportunity it provides is continuing education throughout the course of the year with webinars through professional trade associations such as the Ohio Association of Child Caring Agencies and the American Residential Treatment Centers. So this is an ongoing program that provides continued education for our staff members as they engage with children and families. The other opportunity it provides is upward mobility, not only within the heritage of Hannah Neal for these people who are entering into our workforce, but also through the Eastway Corporation and other provider agencies. And we also offer continuing education and affiliation with several universities throughout the state of Ohio that these people can engage with. And we are also looking for upward mobility as they move into professional trade associations in the state of Ohio. I really appreciate your opportunity to present this proposal. I appreciate the work that Michael has done with us, and thank you for your time.
Great. Well, many of you know my mother-in-law is 88 years old, and she just retired as a child psychiatrist after 63 years in medicine. There is an incredible need for child psychiatry and mental health workers in our community. And for years, I think we commissioners have heard that we needed more beds, we needed more treatment sites so that our children could stay here and get better. So I'm thrilled with this. I think it's fantastic that you're coming to Columbus and bringing more of what we need. And I hope that this training grant will prepare some of our wonderful clients at JFS to be great help to you. Move for passage of Resolution 8/1816.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Brooks?
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Aye.
Resolution number 818-16 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks.
Resolution number 819-16, resolution authorizing a contract with MP Kellenher and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $90,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sorry.
No,
Jenny Snap, Assistant Director, Economic Development and Planning. The last resolution we have for our department is a contract for residential building services with our certified building department.
RFQ 2016-05-27 was solicited by the Purchasing Department to provide residential building official services to enforce the Residential Building Code of Ohio for 1, 2, and 3 family residential dwellings. That's for townships and villages within the county. This was competitively bid, and 80 vendors were actually mailed the solicitation, and it was publicly advertised and posted on the bid webpage. The contract requires the contractor to fulfill the certified residential enforcement personnel requirement of the 2013 Residential Code of Ohio, and this official is required to exercise enforcement authority and accept and approve plans, specifications, and make inspections for residential, electrical, and HVAC for, again, 1, 2, and 3 family residential dwelling structures. The bid opening was conducted August 9th, 2016, and only one bid was received from MP Kelleher and Associates. Our department actually reviewed the proposal for administrative requirements of the Economic Development and Planning Department. We scored and evaluated the sole bid received, regardless that there was only one bid received. Based on those evaluations, it was determined that MP Kelleher and Associates Incorporated is the lowest and best built bidder. Mike Kelleher is actually in attendance if you have any questions for him, and the contract will be for a one-year period with the option to extend for 4 additional one-year periods. And just to note, Michael has been doing this service for our office since 2007, when the state of Ohio actually certified our department.
All right, move for passage of Resolution 81916.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 819-16 has been adopted.
Thank you,
you.
Commissioners.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Happy Thanksgiving. Homeland Security and Justice Programs.
Resolution number 820-16, resolution authorizing receipt of Franklin County's FY 2015, CY 2017, Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act Block Grant Award and Planning Award in the amount of $120,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jessica Uswa, Office of Homeland Security and Justice Programs. The resolution we have for this morning is the acceptance of the Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act Block Grant and Planning Awards. The Ohio Department of Youth Services awarded Franklin County a block award in the amount of $110,000 and a planning award in the amount of $10,000. The grant funds will be used to enhance the juvenile delinquency and accountability initiatives, as well as address disproportionate minority contacts in the juvenile justice system. Individual subrecipient awards for the projects will be brought at a later date as they are selected. Pending any questions, we request approval on this resolution.
Move for approval of Resolution 82016.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 820-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 821-16, resolution authorizing a sub-grant award with CASA of Franklin County to support outreach and recruitment under FY 2015 Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act Block Grant in the amount of $60,000.
Second resolution we have is a sub-grant award under the current Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act Block Award to CASA of Franklin County. This funding for this project will assist in recruitment and training as well as community outreach, focusing on minority recruitment of volunteers. Funding will also support specialized training to aid in identifying at-risk youth offenders and prevention of their future delinquency. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 82116.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 821-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Human Resources.
Resolution number 822-16, resolution approving personnel actions.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Young, representing Human Resources. The following personnel actions this week. Child Support Enforcement Agency, 1 new hire, 1 position change. Department of Job and Family Services, 6 new hires, 1 promotion, 2 transfers within the agency, and 2 name changes. Department of Human Resources, 1 resignation. Office on Aging, 2 resignations. Public Facilities Management, 2 new hires. Sanitary Engineering, 1 resignation. And then various agencies, we have 402 longevity payments. That's for the union members and their 3 collective bargaining agreements. So pending any questions, I request approval on the resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 82216.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Resolution number 822-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 823-16, resolution authorizing supplemental appropriations to the self-insurance fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Tiller again with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution will authorize a supplemental appropriation of $3 million in the self-insurance fund in order to process health-related claims for the remainder of the year. This was driven by higher than anticipated carryover costs from the prior year, approximately $2.5 million, as well as some larger than expected large dollar claims during the early part of the current plan year. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Okay, move for passage of Resolution 82316.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 823-16 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Purchasing.
Resolution number 824-16, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,801,618.51.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuse representing the Purchasing Department. The resolution before you requests for approval of 266 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified availability funds by the county auditor. Pending any questions, we recommend their approval.
Do you have a maize and gold tied on?
I was just gonna say.
It was.
You're a little rusty, Carl, huh?
Sunshine. It was.
Okay.
wore it,
Commissioners,
but
I
it's
told him I
winter.
would not.
It was for
Carl.
sunshine.
This morning.
Carl.
It's not for maize and blue.
Carl.
We've got some of that tape, you know, we're finding all over campus.
That is.
Yeah, right.
Stan, I don't know a Buckeye tie.
Carl, that's a.
But
You
was-
don't own one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not knowing you to make poor
Holiday
choices.
gift,
Well,
holiday gift,
I
everyone.
was thinking it was for sunshine. It was, you know, it's the winter. It was
Okay.
for sunshine. It was for sky and sunshine.
Yeah.
That was, you know,
Okay.
you know, I've only been back to work 2.5 weeks, Commissioner. Give me
Yeah.
a break.
Okay, move
Well,
for
wait a minute,
passage.
and if I'm not mistaken, to your defense, are you not colorblind?
No, I'm not. I am not
You're
colorblind.
not?
I'm not.
You should
Tried
have
to get
said
him off the
yes.
hook. Yeah, right.
Commissioner, I'm a retired Army officer. I am not going to jeopardize my integrity by telling you a lie. I would not do
All
that.
right, all right.
I would not do that.
Oh, my, oh,
But
my.
but to my, I was thinking about sunshine and everything else. So I mean, that's why I did it.
Okay, well, you're forgiven.
But I've won it before. I mean, you know, it's never been an issue
But
before.
not
except
over
Not
Harold
Michigan
Anderson.
week.
Probably, you ratted me out. Probably that's what he did.
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I've
Sorry.
worn this. I've had this tie for about 4 years now. So, and you've seen it before up here on the dais.
Not Michigan.
Not
week.
Michigan week,
Well,
no.
I wasn't thinking about that. So, like I said, I've only been back to work 2.5 weeks. So, you know,
All right.
that's my plea.
You're gonna get a few OSU ties, you realize that?
Well, I'll gladly wear them.
There you go,
I mean,
okay.
I am from SEC country, and I am from Mississippi, so. you know.
You're just making it
Gee,
easier.
really?
Stop. Good Lord.
Carl, let it go.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
let it
approve
go.
each
What's
resolution
that,
and get
the
him out of
Frozen
here.
song, let it go, right?
But I do not like Alabama.
Uh-oh, there he goes.
Just.
All right, move for passage of Resolution 82416.
But I do have some good news.
Yeah, what's your good news?
Well, we did print 245,236 absentee ballots, 310,474 provisional ballots, and that equates to 1,111,420 impressions for a cost of $3,878.85. So that's a significant savings than what was done by the Board of Elections a long time ago, since
Yeah.
2010. So
Yeah.
a lot of impressions for only about less than $4,000. So
Maybe that helped us with the
Significant
additional
cost
money
savings.
that we gave them today.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
a significant cost savings than what we used to do in the Board of Elections when they were paying a vendor
Yeah.
to print a lot, store it, and then shred them. So by doing just in time that we
Yeah.
are doing now in the print shop, so significant
good
savings
change.
that we're
Well-
experiencing every year. A lot of impressions that were done for this presidential election, up to 7 o'clock the night of election that we were printing ballots.
Mm. Wow,
So,
very
a lot of
good.
impressions for significant savings.
Good.
Gets back a little bit, good. All right.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 824-16 has been adopted.
I'll go back and take this off.
Thank you. Thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 825-16, resolution reappointing Stephen S. Francis and McCullough Williams III to the Franklin County Parks and Recreation Board of Trustees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. This is the first of three resolutions for board appointments. They are actually all reappointments. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution.
These two gentlemen have served really well, and we hope the Clippers keep on their winning upward streak. Move for passage of Resolution 825-16.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 825-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 826-16, resolution reappointing Elizabeth Power Kessler to the Columbus Regional Airport Authority Board of Trustees.
Again, Commissioners, pending any questions, would recommend approval of this reappointment.
She was serving a partial term. Now she's this is a full term.
That's correct. When you originally appointed her, it was to complete a term from a resignation, and this will be a full term for her.
Move for passage of Resolution 826-16.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 826-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 827-16, resolution reappointing Sharon L. Young, Lark T. Mallory, and Donald P. Shackelford to the Columbus Franklin County Affordable Housing Trust Corporation Board of Trustees.
Again, Commissioners, pending any questions, would recommend approval of this appointment.
Okay.
These appointments, I beg your pardon.
Move for passage of Resolution 827-16.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 827-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 828-16, resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Rebuilding Lives Funder Collaborative to implement the community's plan to prevent and end youth homelessness related to the RLFC's application to the Department of Housing and Urban Development for the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program.
Commissioners, the Department of Housing and Urban Development issued earlier this year a NOFA for grant dollars to support community development of community plans to prevent and end youth homelessness, the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program. HUD will competitively award 10 grants, 4 of which are required to be from rural areas. And communities that are selected to participate will receive HUD support and technical assistance to complete their community plans. Awards for those that should be so granted will be a minimum of $1 million with a ceiling of perhaps up to $33 million depending on quality of the application and some formula-related elements. HUD requires that the applicant be the local Continuum of Care Collaborative participant, which for our community is the Rebuilding Lives of Funders Collaborative. This resolution authorizes the county administrator to sign an MOU with the collaborative for the purposes of the application. Other partners that are or will be signing MOUs for the grant application include the City of Columbus, Columbus City Schools, Southwest City Schools, Franklin County Children's Services, Huckleberry House, and the Criminal Justice Planning Board. Throughout the process of creating this application, which I believe will be submitted no later than early next week, I think the deadline is November 30th, more than 100 community partners have provided input, including from the Board of Commissioners, the Departments of JFS, Economic Development and Planning, Justice Programs, as well as Children's Services. So pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution.
Great. Move for passage of Resolution 828-16.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 828-16 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number 829-16, resolution authorizing non-general fund supplemental appropriations and a transfer of funds for the payment of debt services.
Good morning, and Commissioners. This resolution would authorize the payment of the county's December 1st debt service payment, which totals $17.6 million. Of that amount, approximately $15.3 million will be from the general fund. The resolution also authorizes various appropriation adjustments related to reconciling appropriations with the early retirement of the Surrey's 2005 bonds approved earlier this year, as well as to be able to allow the sanitary engineer to process their loan payments by their early January deadline. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 82916.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 829-16 has been adopted. And Commissioner O'Grady, if it's okay with you to read the last 8 or 9 resolutions together, all bonds. and-
Just the
Does
next
that work?
7.
7?
Seven.
I was wondering that. Does that work? Is that okay, Harold? All right.
That's fine, Commissioner.
Resolution number 830-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of limited tax bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $7 million for the purpose of providing funds to refund certain outstanding special obligation bonds of the county and authorizing related documents and agreements. Resolution number 831-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of limited tax bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $42,820,000 for the purpose of providing funds to refund certain outstanding general obligation bonds of the county and authorizing related documents and agreements. Resolution number 832-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $7,500,000 for the purpose of acquiring certain facilities to be utilized by the Franklin County Board of Elections and the Franklin County Print Shop and authorizing related documents and agreements. Resolution number 833-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $4 million for the purpose of renovating and improving certain parking facilities owned by the County of Franklin, Ohio, and authorizing related documents and agreements. Resolution number 834-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of limited tax bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $8,195,000 for the purpose of providing funds to refund certain outstanding general obligation bonds of the county and authorizing related documents and agreements. Resolution number 835-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of limited tax bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $2,170,000 for the purpose of providing funds to refund certain outstanding general obligation bonds of the county and authorizing related documents and agreements. Resolution number 836-16, resolution authorizing the issuance of notes in the amount of not to exceed $6,500,000 in the anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose improving and equipping certain sewer facilities known as the Money Back and Brown Road East Sewer Project and authorizing related documents and agreements. And resolution number 837-16, resolution.
Not
37. Okay.
Just
No.
836.
We're done.
830 to 836.
Okay. Now, I'll move for passage of resolutions 83016 through 83616.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolutions number 830-16 through 836-16 has been adopted.
Okay.
Great.
Resolution number 837-16, resolution authorizing non-general fund appropriation adjustments for the provision and maintenance of zoological park services and facilities.
This resolution will authorize a supplemental appropriation of $360,129 as well as a transfer of $56,414 for distribution to the Columbus Zoo before the end of the year. This is a result of higher than anticipated levy revenue from the zoological park levies.
Really good to
Pending
hear.
any questions, would ask for your approval.
What a great, wonderful facility. Move for passage of resolution 83716.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 837-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 838-16, resolution authorizing appropriations adjustments in the Risk Management Reserve Fund for the settlements in State X-Rail, Outman Bates versus Public Employee Retirement Board.
This resolution results from an Ohio Supreme Court decision in May of this year related to employees of the Franklin County Public Defender's Office. The decision will authorize 254 current and former employees of the not-for-profit Franklin County Public Defender's Office between 1985 and 1992 to be members of the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System. So this resolution would authorize the payments of claims as individuals file, and Public Employees Retirement System provides invoices for those prior service credit payments, as well as $1.5 million to transfer from the general fund to the settlement fund in order to make the first set of payment claims. We did just get another set, which we're reviewing right now, and we may be back before the end of the year. They're due in early January, so we may make that before the end of the year as well. But this is the first set of claimants. We'll address the $1.5 million.
So this actually goes back 3 decades.
Correct.
So it's just been a complex situation that the Ohio Supreme Court finally, and we hope finally, opined on, that we don't have to go back there again.
I believe the initial case was 2001.
Yeah, long time. All right, move for passage of Resolution 83816.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution number 838-16 has been adopted.
Antoine, do we have any journalization? All right, being no journalization, that concludes our business. See everybody next week on the 29th. Thanks.